What's up, you guys? Sarah here with One and Done Weekly. Today, I want to talk to you about red light foods. Now, yesterday in our private group, I asked the question, what are your red light foods? That food that for you, you can't just eat one. And I gotta say, you guys came up with some amazing responses. I know it's not too hard, right? We all have that food for us that it's like, ugh, I'm just gonna eat the whole bag, or I'm gonna eat all of it. And I definitely shouldn't have read your responses hungry. But that's neither here nor there. So I actually asked that question. I was inspired by Forrest, my husband. His birthday was yesterday. And basically, if you know anything about Forrest, you know that his word can be described, his red light food rather, can be described by the simple phrase, the simple title, Cookie Monster. He is Cookie Monster from Sesame Street. So if there are cookies around, he's gonna eat them, and he's gonna eat all the cookies. and he knows this. He's totally cool with me sharing this to the world because he doesn't hide it. And we actually have a dear friend that every year on his birthday, this friend of ours actually sends Tiff's treats to Forrest. And so Forrest just knows when he gets those Tiff's treats, it's on. He's gonna eat the whole box. And let me just say, our friend is generous, so it's not like one or two cookies. But this got me thinking about how we incorporate red light foods in the One and Done. So just hearing this story up until now, you might already be like, wait a minute, your husband, who is a gym owner and who is also a nutrition coach, is Cookie Monster, and he'll eat a whole box of Tiff's treat. Like, what? How does that work? Well, he doesn't just do this all the time, every single day, but he does it because he is also a coach for the One and Done, and he knows how we incorporate red light foods. So the first question is, or you might have heard me say incorporate. That's a big highlight of what we do with our program. So our philosophy when it comes to red light foods, first of all, that tactic of labeling foods, red light foods, yellow light foods, green light foods, that is definitely something that we do, right? Green light foods are those foods that, anybody eating chicken and broccoli is probably not gonna like roll off the table like, oh, I can't stop eating chicken and broccoli, right? And then we might have those yellow light foods that they're good, and maybe if you just had reckless abandon, you would eat them, a lot of them, but you can control it. And then there are just the foods that it's like, nope, all bets are off, right? Well, our philosophy in the One and Done, we take that phrase, I can't eat that, and we replace it with the phrase, how can I eat that and still move towards my goals? How can we have our cake and eat it too, right? And so the key to this, to being able to do this, it's not one size fits all. And so, one of the things we always say about our program is it's personalized to you. And with red light foods, that's the same way. So let me explain. I actually talked about this in our last Transform video, I think last Sunday, but there's an author and a podcaster named Gretchen Rubin, and she does the podcast, it's called the Happier Podcast. And in that podcast, she's referencing productivity, but I hijacked her idea and applied it to nutrition. So with her idea of productivity, she talks about how there are people who are compartmentalizers, and then there are people who are integrators. So a compartmentalizer, when it comes to productivity, is somebody that they want to get all of their work finished, and then after they're done with that, then they can enjoy fun times, right? So this is the person that works all the time, super hard, and then when they come home, then, okay, cool, I can relax. That's when they're gonna do fun things. That's when they're gonna hang out with friends. An integrator is somebody who wants to integrate their fun and their relaxation in between their productivity. So this is a person that they're going to work hard while they're at work, but then they might schedule a lunch with their friend to go enjoy themselves, or a coffee date, and then they're going to go back to work. They're, you know, and you can see how this can get expanded really wide, right? That person that's like, I'm going to work hard in my 20s and 30s and then enjoy my 40s and beyond, or, you know, whatever, versus those people that are like, man, life is happening now. I'm living here. So I need to enjoy myself as I go. So I've taken that. I can go into a whole long talk about that, but I won't. How we apply this to nutrition, how this works well, how this is the one and done philosophy. With red light foods, how you handle them is dependent upon whether you are a red light compartmentalizer or a red light food integrator. So for example, Forrest knows with those cookies, he's gonna open the box, he's gonna take one bite, and then it's done. He's just gonna keep on eating just like Cookie Monster. So he's a compartmentalizer. He knows that's when he's in it, he's in it. I am more of an integrator. So I like to do things like, I will manipulate serving sizes, right? So I know for me, like, if you guys have seen any of my videos by now, you know that popcorn is one of my major red light foods. So one of the things I do, I hack the system by making sure I control all the calories in that popcorn so that, you know, I'm not adding, a side of 500 calories of fat on top of the popcorn. So that's gonna save me a lot in calories. I also have control over my serving sizes. So, if I bring home a bag of popcorn, I'm not just gonna sit with the bag on the couch, because I know if I do that, that bag is done, it's gone. I've already eaten it. And so for those things, I like to actually serve myself. I think one of our members, one of our graduates, Chris, mentioned anything that does not have a serving size is a red light food for him. It's the same thing for me. And so I hack that system by making sure I always serve myself red light foods when I'm eating them. Another hack, I think Stephanie, another one of our graduates, she talked about chips and salsa as her red light foods. I love chips and salsa, and I'm very similar. One hack that I've discovered is when I make myself migas, if I make myself migas in the morning, and I don't have like a strict traditional migas recipe, but one thing I like to do is I'll scramble eggs with jalapenos in it, and then I will crush chips over the top of it, and then put salsa on top. And what that does is, by crushing the chips, I get that flavor of the chips all through my eggs and all through, mixed with salsa. And so I get that whole flavor and the crunch without necessarily, eating chip after chip after chip. So that's how I'm an integrator. But the question is, so the question is, depending on whether you are an integrator or compartmentalizer, that's going to be how you incorporate your red light foods. So for me, I've kind of already shared how I do it, right? I control the size, and then that way I just fit it into my program as I want to. I don't necessarily eat red light foods every single day, but I know I'm going to have them in the week, and it's not going to kill me because I make sure that it fits within the food intake that the calorie intake I've allotted for myself. Forrest, on the other hand, because he is a compartmentalizer, his hack for this is when he knows that he's gonna have, he knew it was gonna be his birthday. He didn't necessarily know he was gonna get those cookies, but he knew it's my birthday. I'm gonna be celebrating. I'm a compartmentalizer. So for him, the way he handled this was the days leading up to his birthday, he actually ate less calories than his regular targets would dictate. And so that way, what's really brilliant about that is that way when he gets to the day of his red light food extravaganza, it's a reward really, or it's that thing that he's looking forward to. Notice that it's the opposite of that unhealthy mindset of you're suddenly surprised by a red light food, you gorge yourself, and then for the days following, you starve yourself in response to that. That can get you in that very binge purge cycle. Whereas how Forrest does it, he he basically creates awareness. He knows how he responds, and so he acts accordingly. So when he has that red light day, that, you know, reward day, whatever you want to call it, he doesn't have to deal with guilt or shame or like, oh my gosh, what have I done? It's all intentional. And so that's how we handle red light foods in the One and Done. Is really, it all starts with that question: how can I incorporate this and still move towards my goals? So what can you do with this today? My question for you is simply this: are you an integrator or are you a compartmentalizer? You might, now if you're like me, I know there are lots of times where people show me an example of something, they're like, which one are you? And I know I want to be one. Oh, I want to be that. That sounds great. But what's the reality? So I'm asking you right now, maybe you want to be one or the other, but what I'm asking you is, what are you? In reality, could you integrate your food in your lifestyle the way I do? Or do you just know, like, no. If I'm gonna eat this, I'm going all in. That, my friends, will help you begin to account for that and adjust for that, so that when you do sit down to eat those foods, you can fully enjoy them. Because this could be a whole different video, but our philosophy is that food is for fuel and enjoyment. That's it. So this is just another way that you can live that philosophy, make it a reality in your life. So I want to hear from you. How do you incorporate your red light foods, or do you not? Are you like, nope, I just don't eat them at all. I don't touch them ever, or whatever. You know, there's so many ways that you can do it, but I'm curious what you do. So definitely comment below. Let me know what you think, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. We'll talk soon. Bye now.